Going on, everybody, and welcome back to the show. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I'll be talking about why do people project. So I do these YouTube lives every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys do find this video content of value, you guys can show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. Details will be in the description. That being said, I have a few things that I'm going to be talking about today. I have a recap episode, which I normally do, and then I'll have 4 slides I'll be talking about. And in the meantime, feel free to ask me any questions that you guys have. Whether you're watching this on the live or on a replay, let me know. What's up, Cindy? Hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, so let me talk about the recap, okay, which is why do people project. So the recap episode is on life as a collaborative process. And the slide is on competitive mindset. So I know, Cindy, you're new here. But I talked about competitive mindset or competitive. Let's scale it. Competitive mindset is anywhere from here below, and collaborative mindset is anywhere from here and above. And in a competitive mindset, most people, they walk into this room, they're like, oh, I gotta win this crowd, and I gotta do this, I gotta prove to them that I'm this person, and yada yada yada, all the good stuff, or not so great stuff. What's up, Darlene? And in this competitive mindset, it's not only is it draining, it takes a lot of energy. And have you ever been to a place where you're like just physically drained, like at the end of the event, you just physically drained? You're like, I can't be here any longer. Like it was cool in the meantime, but now I feel drained. um I'm doing good, thank you, Shevlin. But anyways, let's move on. So the competitive mindset, this mindset is not only draining, but it comes across very, very forceful. And people with competitive mindsets, it kind of deters people away. It kind of pushes them away because it's like, well, I'm just trying to have a good time. And maybe they are competitive too, but it's like, I want to, let's work on it together and build each other up. But that's usually not the case. And then they come across as, well, I need to be better, I need to do this, I need to do that, right? And they need to know who I am, because if I don't prove to them who I am, then they won't know who I am and how good I am at whatever you're displaying, right? Like I said, whether it's at work or maybe as a tournament or whatever it is, that competitive mindset, like, go there to win. Yeah, of course you want to do it for yourself, but if you're trying to prove everybody wrong, you're only going to invite a lot of aggression and a lot of hostility, and people's not going to trust you as much. And do you really want to be in a place where people don't, they're just kind of like, oh, this person again, yeah, okay, yeah, just let them be, that's who they are, so let them be. So the whole mindset of, the competitive mindset, step away from that if you can. And there's steps to that, but like I said, this is a recap episode, so if you guys are interested, you could go back to it. But anyways, lead through your actions. People see what you do, and that's how they emulate that. But check your actions and your intentions. Like, what are your actions when you're going in there? What are your actions? And does your action, what does it convey? Does it convey this intention where I'm trying to be better than you, and I'm trying to get like that light on me, so I'm the most important person in the room? Because that's one of the 6 basic human needs, is the sense of importance. Everybody wants to feel important. Who doesn't? And I get it, but it's, you want to feel important, but do it for yourself first. Don't try to seek it out from other people, because eventually you're going to be disappointed, because someone's gonna let you down, okay? And it's not going to end well. So happiness comes from within, not from without. Here's it. Next one. People who participate in competitive mindsets are more likely to be hostile and conflicted. They're kind of bothered, and deep down inside, they need a lot of validation. And with this whole social media world nowadays, we strive for likes way more than ever. Whether it's likes on, I think it started on Facebook, right? and then we got YouTube. There's there's likes. And see, here's the thing too. It's like I don't chase the likes, but if you don't get likes and you don't get comments, it's like it plays against you in an algorithm. But when you get more, you can see why people be like, yeah. And I even, I ask for likes too sometimes, like, because it pushes the algorithm just a little bit more. But I do it because it's like, well, if no one hears it, how are they going to help themselves? And it doesn't matter how good your quality is. If no one is listening to it, it's like a tree falling, right? Doesn't make a sound if no one's there. So anyways, competitive mindset. Um, there's 4 steps at least. I think there's more, but these are the 4 steps that I am aware of. So a lot of people starting from the very, very bottom, okay, is apathy, which is kind of like very resistant. And they're like, I don't give a shit about life. Life sucks. What's the point? I don't want to live. I don't really need to do anything. Whatever. It's whatever. And I said this before, but it's like, well, letting them know that, hey, look, your friends are wrong. The government sucks. Everyone's against you. Yeah, you know what? That kind of sucks. And the reason why you want that is because you want to pull them out of that kind of apathy, feeling apathetic about themselves. So that pulls them out. It gives them hope. It gives them hope. And once you pull them out, the next step is grief. The grief is like victimhood. Oh, things happen to me. Me energy, right? This sucks. Why is shit always happening to me? This is where after you pull them out from apathy, you're like, yo, you're being a bitch. Stop being a bitch. Because if you act like a bitch, the world's going to treat you like a bitch. Stop acting like a bitch. And they're like, okay, you're right, right? Then from there, it's like fear. Then they got to face it. They got to face their own fear, right? And then the next level up is anger. And, behind anger is fear. So if you ever stumble across somebody that is angry, and it's usually because they're not getting what they want immediately, right? Anyone deal with customer service? So many. They always get mad. How come? I'm like, well, you don't have your receipt. I can't give you a return, but I can give you store credit, right? I can give you store credit. That's the best I could do. Like, I don't own this place. I just work here. Can we move? Can we like try to resolve something? I know it's not what you want, but this is the best I could personally do. And if you don't want that, you could take your item and go back. It's okay. But no. What's up, Sarah? Welcome back. Long time no see. All right. So those with competitive mindsets gets you what you want quickly in a short term, but isn't sustainable. So it's something that it's easily attainable. You can attain it. That's great. That's cool. It's better than doing nothing, but it's not sustainable. So it's kind of like being in a relationship. A lot of people. What's up, Joe? Hello. Yeah. So it's like a lot of people. They're good. Hey, there's guys out there, like I said, that's very good. They're very charming. They know what to say, right? That could get that lady, right? Charm their way in. But what ends up happening? 3 months, 4 months down the line, he says something, is like, it causes her to be like, I don't care how tall, how attractive you are, how long your thing is. I don't want to be with you because you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. And you're a horrible human being. And I don't want to be around you no more. I know. All right. So that's a short term versus long term. And it goes down to what you want. What do you truly want? And who doesn't want a true, meaningful relationship? I do. I love that. And it fulfills me. I wake up and I'm like excited about life versus I used to be a very, upset. I was very depressed. I came from a place of where I considered rock bottom, and I had to pull myself out of it, and it sucked. And I wouldn't want anyone to be in that place. But I would say this. If you're in that place and you get out of it and you did it yourself, or you had help from other people, maybe advice, maybe from here, you're going to be fucking unstoppable. You're going to be unstoppable. Anywhere you go, you're going to take this philosophy, and that's your character. No one could take that away from you. And your character is destiny. So if you're this type of person that you can operate through no matter what kind of circumstances that comes to you, well, guess what? You're going to fucking rule your fucking life. And your reality will be stronger than anybody else's. So that's why when people tell me, oh, Mitchell, like, and they don't really agree with some of the things that I do, like maybe why you doing a relationship, why are you doing this, like why don't you get a normal job? And it's because I was like, well, because I like doing this, I enjoy it. But you know what? If you don't like it, that's okay. You know what? That's on me. And someone will always have something to say, whether you're doing good or bad. But that's a competitive mindset. And so I highly, highly, highly encourage you. If you are in this very competitive mindset, you might want to try to learn to let go of some of that resistance. And how you could do that is by looking through your past traumas. Maybe it's your childhood, maybe it's something that happened to you in the past, whether it's a kid bullying you, maybe it's your siblings, your parents, guardians, whoever, someone that did something and you're like unwilling to let that go because it's like carrying dead weight from the past, trying to move forward and do better for your life. So yes, move forward with your life, do that, eat healthier, do healthier activities, but still let go of some of that resistance that's holding you back. That's how you're gonna move forward and just fucking skyrocket, you know what I mean? So you're gonna be in a much better place. And I'm speaking about this from personal experience because I felt like I was on the bottom. I felt like life wasn't worth living. I didn't have a purpose. Now here I am. Right. All right. So let's talk about projection. Right. Um. So with the projection of, I think I mentioned this during my TikTok earlier, but have you ever met somebody that you haven't met, you don't really know very well, that tells you how they feel? And usually more often than not, it's not something that you're really looking forward to, but you're also not really surprised when you hear it. And what I mean by that is it's usually in a form of trying to belittle you, talking you down, maybe with sarcasm, some pettiness inside, right? And this could be whether it's a stranger, a bully, friends, family, or even your significant other. And usually it happens from your significant other, right? And rather from them confronting their own fears or their own insecurities, they displace their feelings onto you. So I think there was an example that I was using earlier, and that example was, imagine girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife, or whatever, um, a couple, and there's a person, the guy is attracted to his coworker. And if you're attracted to your coworker, instead of him just admitting like she's attractive, but I have a girlfriend, I'm not gonna do anything, he's like, he's projecting onto her saying, look, you're the reason, like you're probably cheating on me. Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. You're probably cheating on me, because deep down, that's how he feels about himself. He likes somebody else. So instead of facing his own reality, he's projecting it onto him, onto her, and displacing it. So he could absolve himself. He doesn't have to feel that he doesn't have to feel bad for himself. Like, oh, I'm attracted to this other girl. Like, hey, look, I understand that attraction is not a choice. Attraction is not a choice. If I have a wife that she finds another guy attractive, whether it's on screen or he's walking by, right? Oh wow, he's very tall. Wow, he's very handsome. He's very attractive and very good looking. Of course, I'm not gonna like it, but at the same time, it's not. But I understand my emotions. I have a good relationship with positive emotions for myself, right? Being happy, joyful. But I also have a good relationship with myself when it comes to being unhappy, being upset, being jealous, right? I'm human. I have those emotions, but I'm not gonna project it onto her and be like, no, like, hey, no, he is a handsome looking guy. It's too bad you're with me though, right? The best person in the world, right? Like, keep it playful and fun. So that's why it's like, you don't take it too serious, because once you do, she's gonna be like, okay, now she's gonna be like, well, I don't know. He kind of, every time I bring up a guy, he just gets very like shaky, very insecure, and that's very unattractive. Versus he keeps it playful and he's like, oh yeah, and he's not really bothered by it. And don't just joke around with it, really authentically feel it. And if you don't feel like that, then there's something that the guy has to work on himself. But that's where projection come from, right? So let me see. Now, rather than them confronting their own feelings, they're much rather displace it onto you. putting the attention back on you instead of focusing on them. And it's a form of emotional abuse, you know. And here's the thing too, most of the time they don't even know that they're doing it. It's subconscious. They're not aware of it. And if they are and they still do it, then that's something that they would much rather not want to fix, and that's in themselves. So either they're aware of it or not, of their emotions. They don't know, regardless, the action is displaying that they don't know how to hold their emotions, that and they don't want to listen to their own emotions. And the quickest way to get rid of it is to put it on you, because you're the problem. And if you're the problem, I don't have to do anything for myself. That's not self-reliance, right? That's what I call red pill community, where, you know, a lot of guys, they'd be like, oh, women are like this. And, you know, women are like that. And this is why they're, you know, they're used for this. And I was like, okay, you, you're so aggressive that you're very uninviting. And the people that you attract are this pool of people that's willing to put up with your bullshit, because you might get what you want. And maybe the guy's goal is to get her into bed. But do you ever really get anything deeper than that? And here's one of the 6 basic human needs. The 6 basic, one of it is not only the sense of importance, but love and connection. If you have 0 connection, your life is gonna be filled with boring things. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care. You don't know how to shop because you never looked within yourself. You're just buying things to distract yourself, right? Maybe a nice shoe, maybe it's a purse, maybe it's a pedicure, maybe it's a massage. Okay. So, okay. Another example of projection is, so a guy cheats on a girl, right? It could be other way around. A girl cheats on a guy, and she finds out, and you know, guy cheats on a girl, and she finds out, and they break up. But then the guy goes, well, the reason why I did it was because blah 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 blah. It's because you. So it's, you see, it's projection again. It's like, well, okay, if you're gonna cheat on me, why wouldn't you just break up with me? But in their mind, here's the thing too. In their mind, the guy that cheated, in their mind, breaking up with you is much harder than just cheating on you. It's much more difficult to take in. So I'd rather just cheat, and I hope I could get away with it. I hope. And hey, some people do, and eventually you get caught. But you're also not really living a life really that meaningful. And you start telling yourself these false stories to make it up. And I'm like, dude, you're really just lying to yourself. If you really want to just go out and sleep with other women, then just do that. Don't be in a relationship with somebody. Oh, but you want the love and connection, but you're not willing. Like, this is how are you gonna compromise with that? Maybe you could find somebody that's willing to keep going back into that relationship, but it's like, you're not doing them any good. You're there to suppress them, to make them feel less than. You're in a relationship to bring each other up, because here's why. When you both bring each other up, why the hell would you ever leave somebody that's fucking amazing? You won't. And especially if the guy listens to, you know, his girl, and he listens to her, he's like, yo, hey, if there's something that's ever bothering you, just know that you can always come to me. And if there's ever anything that I've said wrong, let me know, because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. But then, of course, I will also let you know that if I don't agree with that, I will let you know, but I'm not going to be petty or, you know, aggressive about it. Just know that. And then if she could trust that and you don't blow up, then great. But most guys, they don't, you know, they just blow things out of proportion. Same thing for women too. But anyways, projection, okay? So in other words, to sum this up, they will give their feelings about how they feel about themselves in the moment, right? So that's how they feel. That's what projection is. And this is kind of general, but I'm just giving you guys an idea of like what projections are. Another projection is, who do you, I got this a lot. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than people. You think you're better. I was like, when did I ever say that? Oh, but you act like it. I was like, how? You're the only person that ever said it. Or the person, or the other people that are saying it are people that's very similar like you. I'm super bad. No, you're not. No, you're not, Sarah. Get out of that. Get out of that mind. I'm just gonna rip your that. Yeah. Get out of that mindset. Um, okay. So spotting projection, and I think this is very important on how to spot it because sometimes, especially when your emotions get kind of rattled up, it's difficult to spot things like this. Okay. But a good way of detecting this. Okay, I know it's steps, and people don't like steps. They like quick tips and tricks. Over here, there's not a lot of quick tips and tricks. Okay. Um, yeah. So, anyways, if you haven't learned, you have to learn to listen and love yourself first. I'm serious. I'm serious, and I'm not talking about pampering yourself. Okay. Don't pamper yourself. Do that, okay? If you need a bubble bath and you smell like shit, go for it. Do that. I highly encourage that. But taking like getting a nice manicure, getting hair done, that's great in the meantime. But just realize, look, I even got a haircut yesterday. Okay, shit is gonna grow. Okay, it's not gonna stay the same. But guess what? As long as I can remember to remind myself, this my mind, I will always wake up in a much better mood. And if I'm not, and I love this question, someone asked me this before. They were like, Mitchell, like, how are you always finding yourself so quickly to be happier, right? Like, and I was like, well, one of it was a lot of things around me, like my friends, my environment. I see your comments. A lot of friends, a lot of yeah, I have good friends around me, right? People, and I have activities that I could do for myself that I truly enjoy. So like if I'm mad and I can't figure something out, I like to Google things and find out why I felt that way. If I'm really curious about it, I'm like, hey, I don't why was I so mad? Oh, okay. Okay. Sometimes we need reminding as much as we need educating. So it's like I have to remind myself. I'm just as human as everybody else. I forget things. I'm very forgetful sometimes. But here's also another thing. If I tell you I will see you on Sunday at blah blah blah, blah, I will make sure I'm there, okay? I'm and that's and I tried never to break that because people, that's your words are binding. If I say something and I go through it and I do it, you would trust me. And if you say that and you do that for other people, they could trust you. Oh, blah, 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 never missed this thing because every time they say it, I could trust this person. And trust is the hardest thing to gain. And most of the time, people can't really be themselves. They feel like they got put up this front. And that's another story. But anyways, spotting the projection from that is first loving yourself first. Your word is yeah, is bond is your bond. Yeah. It's almost like writing. Even then, people like break that too, right? That's why. Anyways, having set and enforce healthy boundaries. You want to emotionally regulate yourself. You want to be also aware of, hey, like if I'm upset, like there's some things that I know I need to do. For example, I was at Trader Joe's the other day, 2 days ago, and there was this guy. Okay, here's what happened. I was in Trader Joe's. I still was. I don't know why I said was. I was at Trader Joe's. I was waiting in line, and then there's another lane that opened. So I was like, no one's going there. So I just walked over. So I was on lane 7. I went to lane 8 because lane 8 opened. No one was there. And I was like, oh, let me just walk behind because it's an open lane, right? Now, some guy, some older dude behind me started yelling at me. He's like, yo, this lady, she was waiting there. And I was like, I understand, sir. I apologize if you thought I cut her. I was just told that there was a new lane that opened. So I just went over here. I have no problem going back in line if that's what make everything more fair for everybody. And he didn't say anything, so that was great. I'm pretty sure he was still pissed off because he was behind her too. Okay. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. Like I'm not in a rush, right? Now if I was in a rush and I was like, dude, I don't care, right? When life pressures you, what squeezes out? And a lot of the times when life pressures you, a lot of emotion come out. And I'm talking about negative emotions, right? Anger, frustration. You start yelling, kicking, screaming. Yeah. And so that was it. That was him. Now, what I realized after that was also that guy probably doesn't really enjoy life that much. He's not really that happy, because in reality, he could have easily just approached me and be like, "Hey, excuse me, that lady was there before you first." Yeah, he could have done that. But how he let that out really shows who he was. And that was a perfect example, actually. That's a projection of how other people feel about themselves inside. And you can't hide those type of emotions. You can't. Okay? You could suppress it, but eventually it's going to gush out. Okay? And that's when life squeezes you. Um then and if you're in that state all the time, guess what? Anything anyone says will always put you in a very upsetting state. You're always going to be operating from a very competitive state versus more collaborative, because collaborative is like desire, courage, love, right? I want to do something. I want to be more happy for myself, and then other people around me could share that. And it's difficult to be here if you always, you have so many insecurities. You have things like, oh, well, I was cheated on in the past, so guess what? Everyone's a cheater now. It's like, no, you have some shit that you have to deal with. You chose the wrong person. Can you admit that? I've been with a cheater. Okay. I'm not happy. I was very depressed, but guess what? I had to get over it. I was like, hey, there was a girl that I really, really, really liked before. Never liked me, and that's okay. But when I was a lot younger, that was what happened. And guess what? I have to understand. I have to look at reality as it was. And so when I looked at it, I was like, well, does she really even care? Does she really spend the time with me? Like, she would much rather be with another guy or whatever, or do something else. So I was like, you know what? Then let me start valuing myself first, by understanding that she would much rather do things with other people than me. And that's okay. I have to understand that people, it's their time. They could do whatever they want. If she doesn't value it, it's okay. Let me start valuing myself. How do I do that? Well, start doing things that helps not only boost up your confidence, but actually make you become a better person. What is your character? What do you want to become? Who do you want to be? Let's start with that. Let's start with your values. What do you value most, Mitchell? Well, do you value loyalty? Well, okay, let's start with that first. Are you loyal? Okay, if you're not loyal, then become better and act on that. So it's like, it's a hard pill to swallow. And moving on from that, my world opened, because I started putting things on me, everything on me. And then to some degree, I think some of my friends were like, yo, Mitchell, you put everything on yourself. Like, don't you ever get like overwhelmed? I'm like, no, because I try to find a solution. And if I can't find a solution, I was like, it's not that I don't have a solution. I just lack an idea. And if I lack an idea and I am confident enough that I could figure it out eventually, I know it might take a little bit more time, but I have patience. So I was like, okay, let's operate from there. And eventually, it might not, I don't always get things done exactly when I want it, but eventually it gets done. And I tend to more focus on a solution base rather than problem focused people, right? So yeah, that was a lot longer than I expected, but spot projection. So let's see. You get everything they say to get under your skin, right? That happened to me. A clear way of spotting projection is usually it comes with anger. A lot of people get angry. So the quickest way to spot projection is when someone says something and it's through anger or passive aggressiveness. So any type of aggressiveness, you're gonna be like, okay, this is how they're gonna project how they feel about themselves inside at the current moment. Okay, because humans, we're very emotional creatures, and once you start to understand that a little bit better, then you get to understand people a little bit better. But yes, it's a lot about how they feel about themselves. And I got the whole, oh, you think you're all that. Look, I never said that. If that's what you really think I am, I know my intentions. My intentions is to, I want to make sure that you're okay. But if you think I'm going against you, like I'm better than you, then our talk here is done. It's okay. It's pretty evident that you don't want to learn it, and that's fine. Let's move on. It's okay. There's other people that's willing to learn, and I hope I hope the best for you. But if you ever do want to return and you decide that you want to, learn a few things, maybe not from me, but I'll be more than happy to share like some other people's advice that I've learned from, because hey, they already have this idea of me already. But maybe if you listen to him or this other person that I listen to, maybe that might help you instead in some way. And yeah, sometimes that's all it takes. I've heard people even tell me, they're like, yeah, I listened to that coach that you recommended, but when I heard it from you, it made a little bit more sense. And I guess it's because through examples too as well, right? It's through examples too as well. Um, but spotting projection is another way of deflecting. I said that earlier, and they put it on the attention back on you. But a good way of kind of not deflecting it, but it's like really you want to dive deep into what they're thinking, is when they're mad and they're yelling and screaming at you, you ask them a question. Because when you ask someone a question, especially when they're mad, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you're not freaking helping me? And then you ask him a question. He was like, well, if I didn't help you, why would I be here with you right now and talking to you? Well, yeah, you know what I mean, right? Or you'd be like, no, I do want to help you, and I want to make sure that you're okay. But when you're yelling at me like that, I can't. It's hard. It's difficult to communicate. Like, what is it that you want? And is it because I'm saying no because I have things to do? Am I obligated to do certain things? So you're asking a question, am I obligated? And then they might be like, yeah, because I did X, Y, and Z for you in the past. But you're like, well, and I appreciate that, and I really do. But when was it ever a time when I kept not, like, I didn't help you? Maybe it's an inconvenience. Maybe it's the timing right now. But hey, what is it? And then they think they have the power because they're answering your question. But whoever's asking the questions are the one that's in control of the conversation. Okay, so it puts you in a better standing, so that you don't have to be in that position. Now if you act out of anger, you're only going to feel what they got. I'm pretty sure you're aware of that already, but you're going to start feeling what they're already feeling. So that's usually not the best choice. So when you're asking these type of questions, you want to make sure that your intent isn't to just piss them off, but also you really want to ask them that question, like, what makes you think I'm really not helping you? I wouldn't be talking to you if I wasn't helping you. But yeah, some people they do that, right? And nowadays you hear a lot of the new school, whatever, right? People date. They just want that instant, like, hey, can I get into your pants? That's what I feel nowadays when it comes to dating. um hey, what do you like? What do you like to do? You want to hang out, right? First, second date, right? But that's, to me, that's a lot of distractions. And I was talked about three things that life has three influences, which is the one that you focus on too much in the past. You focus on things that pulls you back to the past, pulls you to the side, distractions, and things that pulls you forward. I choose to focus on things that pulls me forward because I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to be more than I am. Grateful for where I'm at, but I still want to be, better. And even looking back 12 months ago, like, I was like, oh wow, like, I felt like there was so many things that even what I've said, I might have not agreed fully. I'm like, okay, I'm still learning. It's still a learning process for me. But if we want to talk about what baggage is, what this red flag is, or whatever, the real baggage is what you're holding back to your past, and it's not letting that go. And little by little, it starts to add up, and you're not aware of it, but then all of a sudden you're like, you ever been in your room where you're like, you clean it, it looks amazing, sparkle, no dust. 3 days later, you're like, how the hell did it get that bad? Well, imagine that with your life, and you've been adding little shit like that every single time into your room, and you've never decluttered. Just imagine that. How difficult it is. How overwhelming that's gonna seem like. So you're putting yourself in this place where it's very difficult to get out of, right? Or it seems like, oh man, like I could never get out, and it's because it's overwhelming. And I've been there, but do it little by little. You will get better. Okay, I promise you that. Um, and be patient and consistent with it. Now, let's talk about loving yourself. So, I talked about loving yourself, where some people they might buy things, they might go eat out or whatever. They want to pamper themselves, right? And like I said, that's still good. You want to be able to enjoy life, right? But if you're doing it as an escape or a solution, that is not the right approach. Okay? Like getting a girlfriend or a boyfriend or being in a relationship because you're lonely or you just want someone with you is not a solution to life. You want to make sure that you're good yourself, because otherwise you're not going to be good company for that person. And it's attainable, but it's not sustainable. So guess what? If you're a mess and you have baggage, shit that you have on your own, and you find yourself constantly being miserable, and you find this person, and then 6 months, a year maybe down the line, or maybe even 3 months, and you start arguing and shit, it's like, well, you're not good company, so they're gonna leave. Then what? You're gonna be in this vicious cycle. You're not gonna get out of it, and it's only because you never looked within your shadows. You haven't looked within. You have to look within. There's no other way of running away from it. You can't run away. um Now, loving yourself means, self-love, inner peace, inner calmness, self-reflection. If you constantly get angry when things don't go your way, you have a life full of pettiness, and you're just gonna be upset. And this is how, when you show up, and this is how you show up in life. And it's going to permeate through all areas of your life. Um, I had a friend that was telling me, I was like, so what happened with this guy? He was like, um, I'm not gonna get into details. Let's just use a wallet, for example. Okay, person loses his wallet. Okay, there's roommates. Let's just say this wallet has a little GPS chip in there, and you can find it if it's lost, right? You can slip those little cards in there for GPS tracking. And they finally found it, and this person started accusing their roommates, or the people that they're living with, that they stole something. And instead of just admitting that you lost it, that it was your fault, he projected onto other people that they stole it. It's like, dude, it was your negligence for leaving it out. Why can't you just own up to that? So, because it's much easier. So humans, we have this one thing where we do more to avoid pain. So his pain was to admitting himself, whether it's his own fears, his own insecurities, or embarrassment. We do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. So to gain pleasure, as in, look, if I do the necessary work, I will be in a much better place. But we seek for these quick tips, and it's like, and also, as much as I don't agree with it, even though those tips work, this is a lifelong journey, and no one wants to hear that. It's just like working out, eating healthy. Eating a salad for a week isn't gonna make you healthier. Just working out a week isn't gonna, like, you have to do it for the rest of your life. It's got to be consistent, and no one wants to hear that. So, but it's up to you, right? And if you're here and you're watching this and you're learning this already, you're already in a much better place than a lot of people. Okay, because that's where I started too, and I was like, wow, like I was so intrigued, and I love being around myself. I used to hate being alone. I didn't like being alone. I always wanted to go out doing things. Oh, I have to do something. I have to distract myself. Like, and nowadays I get to sit down and stare at a wall and just start laughing. Some might call it crazy. Okay, I might be a little, like a weirdo or wacko sometimes, but it's okay. I enjoy my own company. But when I look at that wall, I imagine like those good times that I have. And I'll tell you a little something about what happened to me yesterday that could maybe give you better insight as to how you want to view life. Okay, after this. Um, so self-love, inner peace, um, I show up in life and I show up with the best that I can. Things could be better. Things could have been worse, but this is how it was, and things worked out. I think we're all crazy in our own ways. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you for saying that I'm not crazy. Appreciate it. I see what you said. Um, now, and yeah, usually it's not the results that you want, right? Then you find yourself constantly seeking validation. Okay, validation. By like posting pictures, like, oh my god, look at me, right? I'm all for photos. I'm all for videos, but if you're deep down, whether or not you're doing it because you like the likes and the views, or you're doing it because you truly excited and you're truly happy for it. And it's so difficult to be yourself nowadays because you feel like if you show your true authentic self, no one would accept you. And guess what? I'm here to fucking tell you, there will be people that will accept you. Now, depending on who you are, there's going to be a limited amount of people or a lot of people. But then this is where the greatness will reveal itself, right? If you're not as good as you are, you can become better. Yes, it's going to require work. Do you know, is this something that you could calculate? Probably not right away, right? You're not going to see your weight loss on a scale right away, but it's going to happen, and you do a little at a time. And how you could audit that is, how do you really truly feel about yourself? Do you feel comfortable being yourself? Sometimes I act weird sometimes, and I don't care. But I do that because I'm happy. And then I get people to be like, dude, that guy's fucking weird, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care, I'm happy, right? So sometimes I might I do a little skip sometimes. You ever been so happy that you're just walking, you're like, you're listening to the song? Well, that's me. And I skip. It's weird. I don't know. Is it weird that I skip? I actually don't care because I did it so many times. It's become almost second nature. I skip. I do a skip. We skipped as a kid, or at least I don't know. I did. I skipped a lot. I had fun. I'm skipping, okay? But I also know that I get to, yeah, thank you. But it's fun. It's fun. And and I like to do weird things. So like where in San Francisco they have like a lot of trolleys, those cable cars. And when I see them, I like to do weird things. Because I know I'm never gonna see them again. And there was an occasion where I saw them again, because the cable car usually brings you to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with San Francisco, but they bring you to the Pier 39. And I was just so happened to be going towards that direction, and I was making these weird movements, and then I saw them again, and they're like, hey, you're that guy that made that weird like squid like movement. And I was like, yeah, that was me. I was like, did you smile? Did you guys have a good time? They was like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. I was like, so where you guys going? I was like, oh, you should probably check out, if you haven't, go get some clam chowders, because those are good. If you like clam chowders, right? No, you're good. I believe everyone's a crazy in their way. Yes. And if you're not, I don't think you're really human. Well, I can't say that you're not human, okay? I don't want to get canceled. But be yourself, be free. Who wants to feel trapped? And if you're in that situation and you can't really be yourself, then you feel trapped, right? And even like I was giving that example of like the guy cheating and all that. In reality, he's a slave. He's enslaving himself, not to absolve himself from that issue, saying like, oh, what he did was right. That is absolutely wrong. I don't think anybody should cheat. If you're not happy with your partner, you should leave and then go do your thing. But don't cheat. But he's enslaved because deep down, he will much rather just, instead of confronting how he feels talking to her, and if she doesn't agree and he leaves, he much rather just cheat. So he's enslaved himself. Okay, so you gotta understand, like, they're both victims, but that's why it's so important to have someone that's complete, to share each other's completeness. Okay, let's see what y'all said. Yes, always be yourself. And it's difficult, right? It's very difficult to be yourself, but it's so free. Have you ever met somebody where you're like, I like this person. I don't know what it is. It's just like they can act like themselves. They're friendly, they're kind, and I enjoy their company. I never met this person in my entire life. This is the first time I've seen them. But I like them. They're cool. Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't mind going out with this person and, having lunch or dinner or even seeing this person as like a potential partner or suitor or whatever, right? Like, because that's the energy, but you can't provide that energy if you're not even there yourself. Okay, so you have to be there. Yes, I was that guy that made that weird squiggly, that weird squid thing. Yeah, that was me. hmm but yeah, but instead of focusing on the whole squid, Mitchell being a squid, I was like, do you guys like seafood? You guys like clam chowder? Yeah. Um. Okay. Yeah. But expressing yourself. Anyways. What was I saying? Uh. Okay. I think I forgot. See, I told you Mitchell's forgetful. I said I was gonna give you guys an example. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I remember that. Okay. So, yesterday, I wouldn't say it was the best day that I had. Okay. The reason why is because personal experience. Okay. This is what happened. I went to the gym. I had a good time. Cool. Now you're neighbors, Darlene. Joe and Darlene. um. So I went to the gym. Cool. Did my thing. That's what I like to do. I enjoy that. And then I was like, man, I need a haircut, but I can't go there because I don't have a car because my car doesn't operate. I need to fix it. And luckily, I have a very, very, very nice brother that, you know, tells me things that I don't want to hear sometimes, which is cool. And he was willing to help me with my car, and I was like, thank you, thank you. I was like, can I at least buy something for you and your babies? Maybe some boba or whatever. He's like, nah, it's cool. You can do it next time. I was like, cool. But I was like, well, I don't know how to get there. Maybe I could take the bus and blah blah blah. And then one thing after another, it felt like everything was going. It didn't go the way I wanted, right? This didn't happen, or this prolonged. Like this took a little bit longer. Fixing the car, we thought we were gonna be in and out in about an hour. It took like 2-3 hours, and then it kind of messed up my scheduling, my planning, right? And usually what happens is I normally the older Mitchell would have got upset because like, oh, I had these plans and this didn't go this way, and it's because if I knew that if I was angry is because I didn't get what I want immediately and I was lacking patience. But then I had to re-ask myself. I was like, Mitchell, I know that things didn't was not the way that you wanted, but did you get most of the important things done? Yes. Is it exactly how you want it? No, but at least it's operable. You know what I mean? Like my car is operable now. I don't smell burning oil and all that, which is great. It makes me feel safe. I don't want to drive smelling like I'm burning oil. I don't think it's healthy for me neither. Um, and so then I came back home, took a shower and all that, did all that, and then I started working on my slides again. And it's a form of therapy too, for me at least too. And as much as I like sharing it with you guys, and I had to think back. I was like, what was the best part about my day? I was like, and also, okay, I even called that guy to get a haircut. He ended up telling me, Mitchell, there's X amount of people ahead of you. I know you call. I was like, damn, like that it pushed my time even further, right? So if patience was the circumstance, do I have patience? Okay, yeah. I got some time. I'm not in a rush. And if I wasn't, then I'll just leave. I'd be like, okay, maybe next time. Anyways, I had to look back. Cup half full, Mitchell. Cup half full. So I was like, all right, what? I was like, what was the best part? I was like, man, the fact that I got to my car was pretty much fixed. I would say like 75%, 25% being maybe it might break down on me, but it ran fine. I drove home, it was okay. And there was a parrot. I don't know if you guys saw it. Okay, there was a parrot that at that hair salon that where I always go cut my hair, and there was a parrot, and I've been there for like 5+ years. I've never had that parrot. I always see it. It flew up. It almost hit me once. That doesn't count. I don't want it to hit me. Then there's this parrot that's just, it was right next to me. I was scared. I was like, because I've been bit before by a bird. And I was just playing with this bird. And I was like, and it jumped on my lap. It was cute. But then when I touched it, it went like this. Right. And so I flinched. I was like, shit, Mitchell, I'm a bitch. I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't do animals that much. Okay. It freaks me out. This beak was pretty sharp, at least to my visible eyes. I was like, I want to pet you, but I don't want to try to get fucked up. But then when it jumped on my lap and it started jumping, like it literally played hopscotch on my lap. Like it jumped, it walked, and it started. I have another video. It started going to my lap and then to my friend's lap and then my lap, and I was like, wow, this is great. And then it just reminded me of how like I could have easily been focusing on all the bad shit that happened, but I didn't because I had a parrot on my fucking lap. And just when I said that, spit went everywhere. Okay, mic, table, iPad. But you know, I had a great time. I had a great time, and even things didn't go exactly the way I wanted. You know, having a good positive outlook in life allows you to be in a much better place instead of being focused on the problems. I knew that things could have been worse, but it wasn't. So I'm really grateful with that. And you know, I encourage you guys to, if you are in a situation like that, you know, try to look for better things in life. Okay, like literally a fucking parrot made my day. And even to like, look, it happened to this day. I'm still thinking about that parrot. I want to give it a name. I'm thinking about buying food next time to be like, yo, you want to go in my hand? Next thing you know, I'm there more often, and it's like, yo, Mitchell, why you here? You're not getting a haircut. I'm like, yo, the parrot's here. You know, I've given it a name. I have a bond. Yeah. So Mitchell, yeah. I'm thinking like I'm searching up on Google seeds for parrot, blue parrot. Okay. And I'm like, I'm about to go to Petco. All right. I'm about to go Petco and buy some seeds for that parrot, even though it may or may not ever sit on my lap. Okay. I don't care. Yeah. So I had a good day, right? I had a good day. But easily I could have been like, yeah, things didn't go my way. I could have had this. This didn't get done 100%, right? Like, nah, I had parrot on my lap. Did you have a parrot on your lap? I bet you not. I bet you didn't get parrot on your lap unless you own one, right? When was the last time a parrot sat on your lap and is not yours? All right, then. All right. Keep laughing. Mitchell's moving on. Let's see. So, going back to the parrot sense that you're a patient. I don't know. It's the first time. But it's also my first time sitting on that corner or that side of you know, I usually sit on the other side. So it's because everyone filled up the seats in front of me. So anyways, projection. But you know, that's how I would project if I wasn't so happy. Let's just say we you know, the other side of the coin was, guess what, guys? Look, just feel. All right, I'm gonna try to put a straight face. All right, but just feel the whole energy where it brings you down. Right? I'm warning you guys right now, but I want you guys to feel that energy. Okay, just like, okay, don't think about that parrot anymore, even though you're thinking about it. All right. Other side of the coin was, look, guys, my day sucked yesterday. You know, everything that I wanted to do, it didn't happen. My car broke down. I couldn't drive it. You know, I had to take the bus. And it's like, dude, fuck, life just sucks, man. It's just I couldn't do anything. And it took so much longer to do it. It took so much longer. And like, pause. All right. Did you feel that? Did you really want to hear me out? Honest. Be honest. You're like, I'll hear you out, Mitchell, because I know you and I'll listen to you. But imagine it's consistent. That's how I operate through life. I operate through life like, dude, I'm always mad everything's always sucks, you wouldn't want to listen to me. You're like, dude, Mitchell, you kind of suck, dude. Like, where the fuck is this other Mitchell that I knew? But that's the reality, and that's how you're going to project. That's how I felt. But I felt that parrot made my fucking day. Okay, I'm still thinking about it. It has sharp ass claws, right? I was like, it's a sharp ass beak. I was like, I don't want to draw blood. Like, what if it starts liking meat? I want to be a part of that. You know, like, I want to stay away from it. But, you know, it went on my lap. It has a lot of dandruff. I didn't know parrots had dandruff. If you guys check out my video on the story, there was this dust. It shook itself. You know, kind of like how a dog would shake after. But there was a lot of dust, and I thought it was dust, but I was like, I think that's dandruff. I don't know. You know, it happens. People have dandruff, but I didn't know parrots had it. But anyways, that was a long story. I had a lot of good time. And thank you for listening to me. Okay, sorry. So anyways, when you project, you're defending. So when you project, okay, you're defending. Most people, when they project that, those negative emotions, they're defending that one thing that needs to be overcome. Then it's usually the fear. It's usually the fear that you're protecting. So you're standing in front of your fear. Fear's behind you, right? And when you project, most people project with anger. And so fear's behind me. Behind anger is fear, right? And so I'm anger, okay? I'm projecting. I'm in front of you. It's very uncomfortable. And I'm just saying things. And you're just like, what the fuck? Right? You're just like, what the fuck? Getting very defensive. The reason why is because I have a lot of fears behind me that I'd rather not overcome. Because I don't want to feel embarrassed. Why would I want to feel embarrassed? That's stupid. That's not manly. That's not masculine. That's a bitch. Well, guess what? Mitchell like being a bitch sometimes, and he likes to look at his fears and be like, "Oh, yo, that kind of sucks. Do you really want to live life like this and get validation through people, or would you much rather do things and handle shit yourself?" And when good things come, you're just appreciative. You're just way more appreciative. Yes. So, you know, be a little bit vulnerable. Being vulnerable requires a lot of courage. And I advise people to be more vulnerable. Don't be weak. Be vulnerable. When you're vulnerable, you're allowing yourself to grow. All right? So, when you project like that in a negative point of view, you're blocking yourself from actually becoming a better person. Okay? Whether it's your fear, your ego, whatever. So learn to recognize that. Understand why you're upset. Understanding why you're upset is way more beneficial than taking it out on somebody. Okay? That's why I was like, go out. I don't know what you like. Go buy a burrito. Okay? Mitchell likes burritos. Mitchell loves Cheetos. I love flaming hot Cheetos, and I love cream cheese, and I'm hungry. No, it's okay. Do your thing. You guys could talk amongst yourself. Yaku. Yo, what's up? I like burritos. I used to get bean burritos all the time. I love beans, okay? That's one thing I'm super happy for. Inflation went crazy, all right? Food went up like, I don't know, 30, 45%. Beans stayed the same. Mitchell loved beans, okay? I love garbanzo beans or chickpeas, whatever. You know, I like to say garbanzo. I like to sound a little fancy. But chickpeas, they're the same price. Nothing changed. Optimistic, positive outlook, good for your health, right? TMI, great on the toilet. Okay? Beans, get some. Learning to recognize and respond with to how you project can help you understand and navigate through social conflicts. So if you learn to analyze and recognize that, hey, this is people's projection, you learn how to navigate through social, like just your social IQ. You can pick up things a lot quicker. So that's great, and that's something that you know, a lot of people, they're either unaware or they don't take advantage and learn from it. Doing good, all is well with you and your dances. Who's Yako from Animaniacs? Yako. All right, projecting onto other people. So this is the last thing I want to talk about. I'll try to hurry this up. Yeah, Mitchell literally talked about taking a shit earlier. Yeah, that's that's what happens. Look, if you don't take a shit, you're not human. Okay, I don't care. That's that's a necessity. Okay, everybody sleeps, everybody shits, and everybody drinks water, or some sort of liquid. Projecting onto others, and this is what happens when you project things onto other people. So if you're a victim yourself, okay, that's great. Did you eat beans? Projecting onto other people. And yeah, if you ate beans, then you're welcome. So projecting onto other people. And what I mean by that is, and I think I heard this term from this lady, I forgot her name, but she was like positive projection. I don't know if I could I don't know it yet, so that's why I didn't use it, but I heard that term, okay? But positive projection. So so when we like somebody, it is easy to get clouded with the idea that that person that you're with can do no wrong. So you're infatuated, you're in love with that person. Nothing that they, everything that they do is lovely. It's because you're high. You got this, I don't know what kind of biological chemicals going, serotonin, endorphins, I don't know, whatever, one of those. And all those good things is happening, and you're just like, wow, this person's perfect. So it's easy to be at that state once you like somebody and you overlook all the red flags. But when you ignore reality, you can. You can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And when that does happen, there's going to be some shit that's going to come up, and you're going to be overwhelmed. Okay. And for many men, here's what I'm going to talk about men and women. So for many men, he can get distracted by her beauty. Okay, so let's just say a guy is dating or being in a relationship with this girl, and this is the best he ever had. Okay, maybe she's hot, right? Men, we're visual creatures, so it's like, oh, she's hot, she's gorgeous, she got a nice body, she could do no wrong. Like, that's stupid, right? She's hot, so she could do no wrong. It makes absolutely no sense, but to him, it makes a lot of sense, because why? His emotions are high. He wants to project that she is this person that she's really not. And an example is like, okay, she's the prettiest girl she's ever been with. She's also very kind and caring. But yeah, you also, dog, she's still a liar. She's a liar. Oh yeah, but people lie. Yeah, they do. But she's like, she's constantly lying. Yeah, but I really like her. Yeah. All right. Yeah. My work here is done. Okay. I can't help you anymore. I'm gonna have to let you experience that. Okay. So 6 months down the line, he gets cheated on. Yeah. Life goes on. And he's upset. And he might be bitter. Okay. And he's not going to confront his fears. So he's gonna seek out partners that would, be to solve his problems. And then he's gonna break up with them. Or they're gonna break up with him in about 3 to 4 months. Vicious cycle. Then he's gonna be old and grumpy, sitting in that old ass chair. You know, the one that's like kind of red and it's like lumpy. Is one of those lazy boys. And he's watching TV and he can't even get up to get water. Yeah, he's gonna be one of those. It's possible, right? Or for a woman. For a woman, she can get sucked in by his charm, right? And look, charm is great, and I think it's important, but charm without character is very dangerous, because then he's just going to lie. And he's not that he's gonna lie, he doesn't really have core values, so you don't know what his values are, because you're kind of clouded with this idea of, oh, he's very charming, he makes me feel this type of way, oh, he knows how to do this, he knows how to what are his values? What does he value? Does he value loyalty? Do you value loyalty? Do you value commitment? Do you value communication? Do you value integrity? Do you mean what you say? Yeah, all those things are important. And guess what? If one of those things are missing, I'm out. I'm out. I don't care how pretty you are. A pretty face is not, it's attractive because I'm a guy, so I'm just going to be like, damn, she's gorgeous. But I don't know her through a hole in the wall. I don't know. I don't know what kind of value she has. I don't care. And it's great. Window shopping. I'm looking. But hey, if you don't display that and you don't have that, I'm not gonna be on that. You know what I mean? So, but that's a guy that took that really takes the time of understanding. You have to understand yourself first, and I'm starting to understand myself more and more and more, and I start adding on to things. So everything is adding on. Yes, it does limit a lot of people, but it's also I'm setting myself up so that I don't fail. Doesn't mean it's not going to fail. No, things still could go wrong, but you're setting yourself up for the best advantage for yourself, so that I don't align myself with a cheater. I don't align myself with a liar. I align myself with someone that has integrity, that is willing to communicate and understand and compromise, because I could do that too, because I can't expect them to do that if I'm not there. So, you know, um, but for women, it's easy for her to be, for the charm, or maybe he buys you things, but he treats you like shit. He keeps yelling at you when things don't go his way. Oh, but he buys me things. But yeah, but he treats you like a dog. Dude, sit. Dude, no, baby, have a seat. But also, you're not you're not just there to like listen, but you're like, no, like he treats me well, I want to treat him well. He treats me like a queen, I want to treat him like a king. And that's a perfect way of sharing each other's completeness and giving to each other. Because the moment you start focusing on how you feel, what you're not getting, and what you're not receiving, it's no longer a relationship anymore. You're just thinking about yourself, right? So you can always so lastly is you can always bottom line someone's actions. And what you project onto others, it's very easy to start ignoring reality, because when you're in that situation and you just so narrow focused, like this tunnel vision, it's easy for you to start ignoring a lot of red flags. So that's it for today with projection. So why do people project? Summary: people project how they feel about themselves. Okay, that's and you can usually see that by how their emotions. Example was that guy at Trader Joe's when he started yelling at me. I was like, dude, you didn't have to yell at me. I get it. There was a line. I took advantage of it. Who wants to wait in line? It was a long ass line. But I saw a lane open, so yeah, I went through there. Anyways, that was the summary. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. If there's any questions, if there's anything that I can answer for you guys, right now is the time. If you're watching this after the live, you guys could leave a comment down below. Let me see. What'd you say, Yaku? Best I ever had, Neo. Best I ever had. That's a Neo line. Oh yeah, 1 in a million. Once I get all the Infinity Stones and create the perfect mate, you're gonna eliminate them, aren't you? Yo, Yaku, you always come in, always asking all these great questions, if not strong facts. That's what I like about you, man. You keep it playful and fun, and life should be enjoyed, not through misery. All right, I'm still thinking about that parrot. That parrot is such a great parrot. All right. If you guys know anything about seeds and parrots, or things that could help a parrot with the dandruff, because it was a lot of dust. I don't know if this was the environment. Maybe it's a hair salon, so it got a lot of hair and dust. I don't know, but hey, it had a lot of dust. When it shook, I saw a lot of dust just, and I was like, this is kind of unsanitary, but I still fuck with you because you sat on my lap, or you stood on my lap. Birds don't sit. Yeah, they do. I'll post it up for you guys. A great topic. Thanks for sharing, Tang. You're welcome, Darlene. Thank you. And for everybody that still might be here, Cindy, Shevlin, Yaku, right? Darlene, Joe. Thank you all for staying. I appreciate your time. Let's see. Oh, you're there. Birds perch instead of sit. Is that how they do it? It's like an ostrich, right? They don't sit, they perch. What's perching? I gotta look this up now. Now I gotta find out. I try to find things out. When I was like cat sitting once, I literally tried to learn everything about a cat. I was like, why is this cat purring so damn much? Like, should I be worried? I didn't know that was their love language. That like, ooh, I like this, you should do it more. I just thought, because when I hear a purr, I think of a growl. just less aggressive and more inviting. But still, I don't know. I don't know what's their nature. I don't know if it's gonna attack me. I'm the only one there. I'm cat sitting. That's why I'm there. So I was like, I was curious. I was like, yo, are they gonna attack me? Because I don't want it to draw blood. Usually, once it tastes blood, they don't go back to regular cat food, right, or pet food, right? They're like, yo, I don't want this shit. Give me something that tastes better. Stop sending me mixed messages to those. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out, but anyways. So yeah, for the next maybe I don't know 3-4 hours, I'm gonna think about cats, parrots, or anything. I don't know. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I have to go now, but I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys on the next live. All right, peace.